Let's get a better picture here. Hello and welcome. Anyone who's here, hello and welcome to all who are about to arrive. I've already seen one black squirrel. I'm not sure if it was onyx. I hear some leaf blowers in the distance. Hopefully they will stay in the distance. Because we don't need any leaf blowers crashing our party again this week. Russ, hey, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Carl, hey, good to see you. Appreciate you. I was just saying I'm hearing leaf blowers in the distance and hopefully they stay in the distance. Because, yeah, I had my fill of them last week. Look at all the leaves that have left the trees, guys. Are we not going to turn? Oh, I guess that's as far as we're going to turn today. Russ says, oh no, stay away, blowers. You don't like a good blowing, Russ? Oops, I forgot to message Kage. I try to message Kage, and Kage tries to message me whenever the other one goes live. And I totally forgot, so he might not show up today. Carl says he likes a good blowing just like you like a good banging, Molly. Mad Cat, hey, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Mad Cat says, here, Chippy Chippy. You know what? I didn't see any of the critters last weekend, but the weekend before, I didn't see any chipmunks. I wonder if they're already hibernating. But I did see a black squirrel out here, so hopefully it'll come back out. I got my peacock nuts out, because I'm a balls to the wall kind of gal. What are you up to, Mad Cat? And there goes some more leaves falling off of the trees. I'm surprised there's any leaves left, to be honest. Mad Cat says, just made some steamed rice. Nice. I had rice for dinner last night. I had chicken and herb rice for dinner. It was really good. I'll see if I can show you guys. Lene, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today? I'm going to take you guys out of the holder. I'm going to show you, maybe, how close the road is. See the cars? Now that the trees are leafless, or bare rather, you can see how close the road is. Well, I guess no more cars are wanting to pass. But yeah. That's why I worry about when people have their radio super loud, and I'm like, I hope I don't get copyrighted. Mad Cat says, that sounds good. Oh, I think I saw a flutterby. That's probably a leaf. We've got leaves floating down. Hola, mi saludas, says Zenitsu. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Zenitsu, did I pronounce that correctly? I hope. Mad Cat says, Buenas tardes. I apologize, my Spanish is very rusty. Zenitsu says, hello me. Appreciate you, Zenitsu. Greetings to you as well, Zenitsu. Thank you for joining us. Russ BGN Aquarium says, hey Carl, sorry. Hi everyone, just made some cheeseburger. Did you make enough cheeseburgers for the entire class, Russ? Or are you going to be stingy? Carl says, enjoy, Russ. Zenitsu says, do you speak English? Yes, we do speak English here, Zenitsu. Russ says, cheers, mate. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera here. See all the leaves falling down? There we go. Russ says, unfortunately not. Gonna have to make their own. Zenitsu says, because I don't. I'm sorry, Zenitsu. I still appreciate you being here. Catman, hey, good to see you. Catman says, hey, Mom Dog. Mad Cat says, those falling leaves look cool. Don't they, though? Aren't they cool? That's a pretty shot, too. Zenitsu says, because I don't speak English. He's probably using Google Translate. Gus. Okay, is that a new one? Have you ever been called Gus before, Russ? Russ says, stunning, Molly. Carl's laughing at me. That was a combination of Google and Russ. Ooh, we have a squirrel. Let me see if I can get him on camera. Oh, no, I guess he went the other way. Damn it. Here, squirrely, 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 squirrely. Russ says, I've been called Gus once by a Welsh woman. Oh, I wasn't the first? Aw. Catman says, glad to catch your live. Any little visitors out here today? Just one so far, and he came out before I started the live stream, but I'm sure he'll be back because I put my peacock nuts out there. Oh, did you guys see one? I'm kind of blinded by the sun. Catman says, oh, okay, there's one. Yeah, there's some black squirrels out today. I haven't seen any chipmunks. So what are you guys up to this weekend? Anybody doing anything fun? Turn it that way a little bit more there. Carl says, watching the fish as always, Molly. Yeah, definitely watching the fish. I have those same plans. Can't help it. Just can't help it. Catman says, maybe do some gig work in a bit. Well, best of luck to you. I know it's been tight lately. Best of luck to you. I hope you make that big money, and I hope you get the best tips. Todd, hey, good to see you. Todd says, happy Saturday, Molly and friends. Good to see you, Todd. How are you doing? Catman says, gotta make some Christmas money. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's coming up fast, isn't it? Carl says, especially them cichlids you have now, Molly. Yeah, I love especially Purple Fanny. Purple Fanny is probably my new favorite. He is just stunning, and every time I try to get a picture of him, the other ones move in front of him. I might take him out and put him in a, well, I could put Banner in a cup, put him in Banner's tank momentarily to get a picture of him. But that's a lot of work for a picture. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Catman says, thank you, Mom Duck. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. I wish you nothing but the best. Carl says, hi, Todd. Russ says, got a date with a bag of chips and some chocolate. Nice. Nice. You deserve it. Todd says, 72 degrees. Beautiful day here in Central Texas. It is 42 degrees here, which is something I think like 4 degrees Celsius. It's cold in Celsius. It's cold either way. But it's my kind of cold. It's my kind of cold. Love the 40s. Carl says, nothing wrong with that, Russ. Definitely. Russ says, I agree, Carl. I third that. Is the sun blinding you guys? Or are you guys good? Carl says, I might have some chocolate. No, Carl, caramel. Go with caramel. Russ says, no, all good. Thank you, appreciate you. Carl says, sun is good, Molly. Appreciate you guys. Because it is blinding me. And I bought this umbrella, an umbrella stand, to help block the sun. Well, I thought it was a golf umbrella, like a big, huge umbrella. It turns out it's just a regular umbrella. It does close automatically by itself, so I guess that's something. Catman says the view is nice, no sun glare or anything. Perfect. Oh, now the sun's going to go away. Maybe we can get Sun's going to go behind the clouds. Maybe we can get some of that blue sky. Wow, it looks gray on camera. It's a really pretty blue in real life. Maybe that's due to the sun. Well, it's a really pretty blue in real life. Are we crooked again? There we are. Carl says, come on guys, hit that like button and help Molly on her way. She's wonderful. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate you. Oh, you can hear the leaves falling too. Russ says what Carl said. I appreciate you guys. Where are the squirrels today? Oh, you know what? I didn't put the sunflower seeds out, did I? I did not. Here comes the mail truck. It's raining nuts. Hallelujah, it's raining nuts. Catman says it's their weekend off. Oh, there you can kind of see some of the blue in the sky there. Russ says, if the world had more mollies, mate, it would be a way better place. Thank you, Russ. They do breed like crazy, so, you know, it's just a matter of time before there are more mollies. Carl says, couldn't have said that any better, buddy. Amen to that. Aw, thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. I love you guys. Daisy! Hey, Miss Daisy, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. We're just watching the leaves fall because the critters aren't coming back out. So good to see you. Everyone say hi to Daisy May. And if you haven't subscribed to her, if you like Scrabble, I suck at Scrabble, but it's fun to watch people who know what they're doing. She does do games on her channel. If you haven't subscribed to her, please check out her channel. Catman says it's a beautiful view. I think we got some snow these past few days in the mountains. Ooh, nice. I gotta check in a bit. Yeah, that's nice. Love snow. Miss Daisy May says, good to see you and everyone. Carl says, hi, Daisy. Catman says, hey, Daisy. Miss Daisy says, aw, thanks, Mom, Dog. You're so welcome, Kelly. Russ says, we're the Molly Appreciation Society, MAS for short. Aw, you guys are so awesome. Daisy says, hi, Catman. Russ says, hi, Daisy. Daisy says, hi, Carl. It's asking me to do a poll. I got to read this because it's hilarious. They're asking me to do a poll on favorite texture. I'm not sure that's something I'd want to know. So, hi, how are you? What's your sign? Nice to meet you. What's your favorite texture? Carl says, how are you? Russ says, I like a bit of rough. Daisy's laughing. Todd says, boobs. Jeff, hey, good to see you. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Jeff says, hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get a bigger umbrella for next week because, man, there's no leaves to block the sun, and man, that sun is just blinding me. It's just determined that I will not see. Jeff says, hi, everybody. Daisy says, hey, Jeff, happy Saturday. Jeff says, have we seen any squirrels today? Well, I have, but it was just before the stream started. They haven't come back out yet. Miss Daisy says, hi, Todd again. Jeff says, hi, Daisy May. Carl says, put some sunglasses on, Molly. I know. I was just thinking, I do have some. I think they're in my car, but I'm not sure where they are. But it didn't occur to me until the sun was blinding me and I realized that the umbrella was too small. But yeah, definitely gonna have sunglasses ready for next week. Here, squirrely, 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 squirrely. Here, squirrely, squirrely. Squirrely, 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 squirrely. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Todd says, Kelly has been hanging out at the beach today and giving geography lessons. Oh no, I missed it. I'm so sorry. I'll have to rewatch that. Russ says, support this amazing lady by clicking like and subscribe. If you want to do good today, do that. Aw, thank you, Russ. You're so sweet. Jeff says, yes, Daisy May's beach lives are awesome. Yeah, I know. I've seen one and it looks so much like Lake Michigan. Only Lake Michigan doesn't have salt water, has fresh water. Miss Daisy says, LOL, Todd. And we saw the blimp. Oh no, I missed the blimp. Lady Sky, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, sweetie? Says, hi, Mom Dog. Carl says what Russ said. Come on, guys, you know what to do. Appreciate you, Carl. Hi, Lady Sky, says Carl. Hi, Lady Sky, says Russ. Miss Daisy says, aw, thank you so much. Lady Sky says, hi, Carl. Hi, BGN. And just so you know, Lady Sky, BGN is also Russ, if you want to call him Russ. R-U-S-S. Not G-U-S-S. I called him Gus earlier. Accidentally, I put Google and Russ together and it came out Gus. Miss Daisy says, hi, Lady Sky. Lady Sky says, I'm doing all right, Mom Dog 72. Been busy. Glad to hear you're well. I hope it's calming down and you can relax some. Hi, Miss Daisy May, says Lady Sky. Wow, it's really pretty. Other than the blinding sun, it's really pretty out today, guys. Russ says, I'm called Russ Gus Ross. I answer to them all. Poor Russ. Lady Sky says, ready for Thanksgiving, Mom Dog 72? I am. I'm not going to do a whole lot for Thanksgiving. I actually might do a live stream for Thanksgiving. Other than that, probably just eat some turkey. Anybody got any big plans? Any family coming over for Thanksgiving? Yeah, Lady Sky says 5 days till Thanksgiving Day for USA. Yep, it is. It is. It's this Thursday. Russ says, when I worked for ChemDry, someone thought I was called Kin Dry. That's funny. That's awesome. Lady Sky says, I'm in Houston, Texas, visiting my family members for Thanksgiving. Oh, nice. Nice, Lady Sky. That's awesome. I hope you have an awesome visit. I believe it's probably pretty hot down there. Hope you're able to stay cool or it's not too hot there for you. Carl says, how many birth certificates do you have, Russ, with all them names? Yeah, you should only answer to Russ, otherwise people might start thinking that you're running some kind of name scam. Russ says 22 mate and 18 passports. Damn. That's a lot. Lady Sky says, in the 80s degrees here every day. We did have rain though yesterday. I'll bet that rain was a blessing. Russ says, and 16 benefits claims. Speaking of claims, I don't know if those of you who don't know, I work for a medical billing clearinghouse. So I work with doctors and I work with insurance companies. And I want to say about 6 months ago, our company changed names. Nothing else changed, just our names. But we have people going, oh, everything has just gone to hell ever since such and such took over. I'm like, yeah, such and such didn't take over. We just changed our name. Obviously, I'm not going to say where I work for security reasons. Carl says, and a partridge in a pear tree. Russ is laughing. Carl says, can't type today, geez. Yeah, I have trouble typing too. Everybody has bad typing days. Lady Sky says, I've been to your chat room, BGN, to say hi to you, but you were having difficulty where you met each other in a different chat room. I've been to your chat room, BGN, to say hi to you, but you were having difficulty on where you met each other in a different chat room. Did I read that right? Am I just confused, guys? I apologize, Lady Sky. Russ says, no worries, Ben. Ben, did I miss Ben? Is Ben here and I'm not seeing him? Carl's laughing his ass off. Russ says, I'm confused too. As long as I'm not confused alone, I appreciate you guys. Oh, Russ says, no, I was calling Carl Ben because of his misspelling. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, is that a woodpecker? Oh man, are you kidding me? It's right where the sun is. Are you kidding me? Can you move over to the next tree, Mr. Woodpecker, so we can see you? Carl says, no, he means Ben couldn't speak English earlier on his channel. I just assumed Ben was speaking British. Miss Daisy says, please hit the like. Thank you, Daisy. I appreciate you. Russ says, I love a woodpecker. I bet you do, Russ. It's right literally where I can hear it, but I can't see it because of the sun. Russ says, no, I had no idea what Ben was in today. On today. What Ben was on today. Yeah, he might have been drinking a little early. With all this sun, would you guys believe that it is cold enough that I can see my breath a little bit? Russ says whatever it was, he didn't share it. No, that wasn't very nice, was it? Yeah, just being a hog. Where is Ben? He usually shows up to my lives too. I hope he's okay. Hope nothing happened. Carl says, bear with, guys, putting Coco to bed. Aw, tell him good night for me, please. And I mean, not like he'll care, but... Russ says, wow, that's cold. Russ says, night, Coco. Oh, I keep looking right up into the sun. Carl says, for anyone wondering who Coco is, he's my African gray parrot who swears like a sailor. Anybody who knows Mary's gigs, he swears like Mary. Russ says, how Tommy, Carl? Yeah, how is Tommy? I know he goes in on Tuesday, right? Actually, I think Carl will be right back because he's putting Coco to bed. We'll grill him when he gets back. We'll just grill him. Russ says, oh yeah, forgot. Carl says, he's not doing too bad, guys. Still not great. Yeah, I'll bet. Are you still cleaning that thing on his neck? The wet spot on his neck there? That sounded wrong. Russ says, you gotta clean your wet spot, Mal. Carl says, yeah, with salt water, which was advised by the vet until Tuesday. Oh, that's interesting. Although, yeah, salt water, a saline solution, that's what they would wash it out with at the vet. The heck? The heck kind of bird is that? Did you guys hear that weird bird? Yay, the leaf blowers are moving further away. That was wild last weekend. Is that crooked? I can't even tell. Russ says, can hear that bird now. What is it? I don't know. I can't quite see it. I think it's some kind of I don't know. I think it's some kind of a bird. I'm surprised with it as cold as it is that we still have birds here. Although in the winter I have seen like cardinals, and let me tell you, a bright red cardinal on this against the snow is just gorgeous. I will have to see if I can get a picture of one. A cockatoo. Cockatoo. Bloody spell check. Oh, well, there's also a cockapoo, which is a cross between a poodle and a cocker spaniel. Man, those cocker spaniels, man, I used to groom those. Those things get nasty, or at least the ones I used to groom. People would just let stuff cake in their fur on their legs, and just you're gonna have a long-haired dog, you gotta brush it. Sorry. Kelly, hey, good to see you. Kelly says hello. Hey Kelly, how are you? Russ says, that's a totally different subject, that, Mal. Yes, yes it is, Russ. Carl says, you with your cockatoo, Molly with her purple fanny, what next? Carl says, hey Kelly. How are you, Kelly? How you been? Russ says, Kelly! Kelly says, heading to the largest buffet in the United States, LOL. Oh, nice. Nice. What do you have? Or do you know what's on the buffet? Or do you not know till you get there? Also, I'm not familiar with the largest buffet in the United States. Russ says, can we come, Kelly? Kelly says, 200 feet of Amish food. Is that in Pennsylvania by any chance? Aha, I knew it. I knew it was in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Kelly. I hope you have a blast. Sounds very, very good. Kelly says, Shady Maple Smorgasbord. Russ says, what food do Amish eat? They eat Amish chow. No, just kidding. Anybody who's seen Futurama and has seen Bachelor Chow, that was a reference to that. Bad reference, but anyway. Kelly says 17 people, 9 birthdays. Oh my goodness. All clean eating. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all natural, all stuff that they make on their farms. So like their pies, like they grow the flour, they grow the wheat to make the flour. They grow their own apples or cherries or whatever they put in the pie. everything that they make, or they make everything out of stuff that they can get themselves on their farm. My cats and birds. Hey, Mary. Hey, are you? Hey, are you? How are you? Good to see you. Russ says, damn, that's a lot of presents to buy. Yeah. Rusty, hey, good to see you. Rusty says, hey, Mom. Mary says hi to Rusty. Rusty says, BGN, yo. Mary says, I hate Fane. I hate Fane. I love you, Mary. Rusty says, Kelly, hey. Russ says, Rusty. Rusty says, my cats, yo. That's Mary. Kelly says, everyone pays their own. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Mary says, love you. Are you on the road right now, Mary? Or are you still at home? Russ says, Mary, hey. Carl says, Mary, hi. Mary says, not yet. Rusty says, Mary. Yeah, anybody who isn't subscribed to My Cats and My Birds, that's Mary's, obviously, her channel about her rabbits. So if you want to see her rabbits, just kidding. Obviously, it's about her cats and her birds. And she has got some amazing birds, peacocks, egrets. There's even ducks. I think I saw a goose on there. I mean, just amazing birds. Rusty says, Mary. Kage! Kage says, hey, Molly. Good to see you, Kage. I'm so sorry I forgot to message you. I remembered like 2 minutes after the live went, or the live started. I apologize. Rusty says, Kage, hey! Russ says hi to Kage. Mary says, bunnies and ostriches. Oh, I forgot about the ostriches. Yeah, my bad. Kelly says, on the road again. Just can't wait to get back on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Kage says, hey, Rusty. Kage says, hey, BGN. That's Russ, Kage. Mary says, the peacocks around the main. Oh, the peacocks are on the main channel. Gotcha. Rusty says, just sub to my cats. Appreciate you, Rusty. And if you see somebody new, sub up to them. Check out their channel. You never know. You might find a new best friend. You might find a new hobby that you never knew you liked. Mary says, the egret are here and the cats get a daily dose. Rusty says, I didn't know that was Mary. Yeah, that is. That's her Cats and Birds channel. Russ says, have to watch those pussies with a daily dose of. You guys in the UK, you guys know what pussy means over here, right? Mary says, yes, Rusty. Let me try that again. The peacocks are on the main channel because that's where most of the subscribers came from. Gotcha. That makes sense. Mary says, thanks, Rusty. Kage says, Mary, I wasn't subscribed somehow. Oh no. Every time I see My Cats and My Birds on Mary's channel, I always double check to make sure I'm subscribed. I don't know why, because I know I'm subscribed and I know I've checked multiple times, but I still do it because I'm weird like that. Mary says, oh my God, make sure you leave a message so I can something back and it sticks. So I can sub back and it sticks. Russ says, yeah. Mary says, I don't know if I could get away with Daily Dose of Pussy. Not on YouTube, maybe OnlyFans. Also, for those of you in the US, fanny means the same as pussy does here. It doesn't mean butt like it does here. Rusty says, daily dose of punity. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. Sorry. Mary says, Kage made the cats for the channel. That's hilarious. Russ says, I'll definitely try. I'd definitely try. Kage says, okay, now I need to scrub my brain with soap. Good luck with that, Kage. Also, boobs. Mary says, I love listening to you try to figure out what I said. Some of your talk to text, Mary, have me rolling. Russ says, boobs. Mary says, daily doses of fanny. Mary says, I think that would have too many meanings. Yeah. Yeah, it would have too many meanings. But see, that's the fun of it. Oh, that was cool. I could not have placed that leaf any better. Now that the sun has gone behind that tree, let me see. Mary says, boobs. Let's take a tour of all the leaves that have fallen off of the trees here, guys. There are barely any trees. There are barely any leaves clinging to the trees. And then let's see if I can do this without blinding you guys. Some kind of squirrel nest. Oops, sorry about the sun, guys. Kage says, squawk. Russ says, how deep does the woods go, Molly? Well, it goes right where right where the horizon is that you guys see. There's a fairly steep drop. And then there was a creek there once upon a time. It's really more of a mud strip now. But yeah, it only goes, well, and then on the other side of the creek there's more woods, so I'd say it goes back a ways. To be exact. It goes approximately a ways. Mary says, okay, I'm just checking. If the leaves fall off the tree in the forest and no one is there, where do they land? Hopefully on the ground, unless something happened to gravity. That would suck. Kage says in Wonderland. Oh, was that the right answer? I got that one wrong. Mary says Russ. Kage says, is it 100 acres? 100 acre wood. Mary says, I think the forest goes to the ground, but I'm not sure. It does. It does go to the ground. You're absolutely right. Russ says, hi, Mary. For some reason, I'm not clocking up XP today. Yeah, that is, I've noticed, at least today anyway, that the what do they call it, the top chatter, top fans or whatever, has been off. Like it'll randomly put #1 on somebody who just came in. Mary says, I'm sure you have plenty of XP, Russ. Mary. Kage says, all I know about forests is they're worth 1 green mana in Magic the Gathering. Oh, okay. But mine actually belongs to a state park, so would it still be worth 1 green mana? Russ says, I have Mary, but always looking for more. Kage says, yeah, everyone has 75 XP. Can never get enough XP, says Russ. The more experience, the better. Here comes the sun again. Mary says it goes by more than just this. It goes by more than just chatting. Does the length of the message matter? Ah. Okay. Russ says, YouTube are so good at getting their shit together. Anyone would think they deserve their 30%. Well, they do provide the platform, and they do provide a service. I think 30% is excessive, but I mean, I think more like 20, maybe 25% would be more fair. But then again, I don't work for YouTube. I just use their platform. Kage says, sorry, I cut games off short last night. My nap turned into sleeping all night. Oh, no worries, no worries. I actually got to watch more of my new favorite show, Only Fools and Horses. Anybody in the US, if you don't have BritBox, get the trial and watch Only Fools and Horses. It's an 80s show. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious, and the characters are just funny. You know, seriously, it's British humor, but it's funny. And the seasons are only like 8 half-hour shows. So, or yeah, 8 half-hour shows. So Russ says, length always matters, Mal. I can say something, but I'll behave myself. Mary says, XP and boobs make the world go round. Yep. Very true. Kage says, yeah, it goes by chatting, super chats, memberships, gifts, etc. Yeah, but like I'm not monetized, so it can only go by chats on mine. Mary says, I really do love the sound of trees rustling in the wind. Yeah. Russ says, yes, Molly, so glad you got into it. Oh, thank you, Russ. Mary says, know people that watch your channel a lot at this point and chat a lot and watch your channel get the highest XP. No, comma. People that watch your channel a lot at this point and chat a lot and watch your channel get the highest XP. Okay, gotcha. Kage says, shoot, I have so many jewels, but I forgot you can't get gifts yet. I appreciate you, Kage. Mary says, when you get monetized, people bribe their way into XP with chats, super chats, gifts. Russ says, when do you ever behave yourself? Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes. On special occasions. Mary says, are you kidding? They keep this thing running for 20 billion people go through this thing a month. YouTube earned their teeth and a normal business expense 30%. I think it's worth it. No, less than 30% wouldn't work. Really? You don't think so? Uncle Larry, hey, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Uncle Larry says, hey, Mom Dog. Mary says, you can be on YouTube, say, 14 years for free. It's a free platform. So if they pay you anything, it's amazing. And it's easier to monetize here than other channels, the other things. Oh, the other, like Patreon. Patreon is the only other streaming platform I can think of right now. Sorry. Carl! Hey, Carl. Good to see you. How are you? Carl says, good evening, everyone. Kage says, hey, Carl. Mary says, hi, Carl. Hey, Larry, says Kage. Hi, Carl, says Russ. Larry says, hello, Kage. Mary says, Cody had the best show in UK. Juicy Juice, hey, good to see you. Says, hey. Naked Attraction, best game show ever, says Mary. Russ says, hi, Larry. Carl says, not good. I'm sorry to hear that, Carl. I'm sorry to hear that. I sure hope things get better for you. I know you've had a rough time. Kage says, in comparison, a seller of games like Steam or Xbox will charge developers 30% to be on their store. Oh my gosh. Juicy Juice says, how are you? I'm good. How are you, my dear? Mary says, Molly, behave herself. Why start now? I mean, you gotta start sometime, right? Kage says, hey, JKS. Russ says, virtual hug, Carl. Carl says, I'm throwing the phone out the window. What's wrong, Carl? What's wrong? Mary says, I can, Kage. Hello and welcome, Suki. How are you? Says, hi, I'm Life ETJ Fishes. Ed, hey, good to see you. Ed says hi. Hey, Ed, thank you for coming. Juicy Juice says hi to Kage. Ed says bye. Thank you for stopping in, Ed. Appreciate you. Mary says special occasions. I guess we're just going to have to take your word for that, Molly. Russ says chances are it won't work if you do that, Carl. Very true. Very true. It's better to talk to us, Carl. Russ says hi, Ed. Mary says no less than 30% wouldn't work for their operating costs. Oh. Juicy Juice says, I'm good. I'm so glad to read it. Ed says, I'll be back. Client needs help. Gotcha. Gotcha. Appreciate you, Ed. Man, that sun just can't stay behind the tree, can it? But look at that pretty blue sky. Okay, squirrels, it's been an hour. Where are you? It's time to come out. Here, squirrely, squirrely, squirrely. Mary says TikTok, monetizing, or the others. Oh, yeah, I forgot you can do live streams on TikTok, can't you? Russ says, was that an Arnie impression, Ed? Carl says, nobody helps me after what happened yesterday, apart from A-Frame, Allie, Tina, and Fran Dasher. What happened, Carl? And are you not going live on Thursdays? I looked for you this past Thursday. Clara Wood, hello and welcome. Clara, are you Clara's channel? Carl says, I switched to Fridays. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carl. There's actually 2 other lives that I watch on Fridays. I'm so sorry. Plus I work. But let me have you running on Fridays anyway, even though I won't really be able to be there. Let me have you running. Todd says, what kind of help do you mean, Carl? Sanal, hey, good to see you. Sanal says, hello, Mom Dog. Just stopping by to drop a quick like. Take care. Appreciate you, Sanal. Thank you so much for stopping in. Sanal says, hello, everyone. Good to see you, and thank you so much for stopping in, Sanal. I appreciate you. squilly, 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 squilly. Carl says, I like doing Facebook live streams. Oh, really? Are Facebook live streams different? I mean, are they like a lot different than YouTube live streams, Carl? That's actually really pretty with the leaves falling. It reminds me of a screensaver I saw once. Has anybody seen one of those, you know, those screensavers that have like stuff moving in the background? Like there's like a waterfall one, like for your phone. I know there's a snow falling one. There was a ghost falling one for Halloween. Totally got that one. Facebook live streams are private. So to get people to come, do you have to send them an invitation, Carl? Boy, that sun is just determined to blind me one way or another. I'm gonna have sunspots. You can make money on Facebook, says Carl. Oh, really? That's definitely something to look into. Do you get a lot of trolls on Facebook? Check out this tree. Actually, not that one. Where'd it go? There we are. It's trying so hard to hang on to its leaves. Poor thing. It's trying so hard. Mary says, I didn't even know Facebook had live streams. I knew that they had live streams, but I didn't know that you could get monetized. I didn't know you could make money that way at all. But it seems like there's so many trolls on Facebook. I just don't know if it'd be worth it, you know? Carl says, no trolls on my Facebook because if you're not part of my group, you can't join. Oh, that's awesome. Does it make it hard to get a large audience that way, Carl? Mary says, if it wasn't for trolls, I wouldn't be monetized. Carl says, I've 20 in my group. Oh, wow, that's pretty big. Mary says, okay. Sorry, guys, I just blinded myself with the sun again. Give me just a minute here. Todd says, hi, Mary. Mary says, hi, Ted. Hey, Todd. That's kind of broken. There we go. That's better. I have no idea why I'm whispering. Carl says, managing moderators on my Facebook have more power than on my YouTube channel. Interesting. Interesting. I rarely go on Facebook, though. I use the Facebook Messenger, but that's about it. Mary says there's more freedom of speech here than Facebook. Yeah, can we say boobs and shit, Carl? Gots to have my boobs. Where are the freaking squirrels? Let me see here. Oops. See if I can zoom in, get you guys a close-up of the other side of the all those trees are in the way there. You can kind of see the other side of the bank there. It's really just all fallen leaves. Oh, whoops, I forgot to zoom back out. Sorry, guys. Mary says, Mary's Gigs needs 14 subs to 6K. It's amazing. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. If Mary, can you throw up your channel? Or post your Mary's Gigs channel? Or if somebody could please post Mary's Gigs channel? 14 more subs. Mary says, I store photos on Facebook and I use Messenger. That's about it. Facebook doesn't have the freedom of speech that I need. Yeah. Yeah, you do need some freedom of speech, don't you, Mary? Because I'm a sassy little shit. You are a firecracker, Mary. Kage says, I'm going to go get pizza for lunch. Sounds good. Enjoy, Kage. And probably enough for dinner and lunch tomorrow. Or you could just share with all of us. Or probably enough for dinner. Wow, how big is that pizza? Hey, Ben, there he is. Says, hey, Molly, finally made it, lovely. Glad you could join us, Ben. We missed you. Fell asleep. Oh, I bet. Bless your heart. I'll bet you're tired looking after your dad there. Am I back now? Kage says back. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. I don't know I got a call and I think that's what happened. I think somebody was calling, because somebody was calling me, it froze the live, and I do apologize about that. Russ says, I'm back. Been doing the dishes. Look at that, guys. I mean, ladies, what more can you ask than a guy who does the dishes? I mean, what a hell of a guy, right? Am I right? Mary says, there's nothing hotter than a man who does the dishes. Just saying. Yep. Ben says, that's the way, Russ. That's true. A man is never hotter than when he's cleaning. Or cooking. Men are pretty hot when they're cooking. Russ says, in my mankini, Mary. In my hair? Mary goes, nice, Russ. Ben said, just had a vision, Russ. Cheers. For that, I am cursed. Mary says, sounds like a viral video, Russ. Oh, definitely. Definitely would be a viral video. I guess that's one way to cool down after getting all hot on a live stream, is to do the dishes in a Speedo. Russ said my phone tripped out. Oh, well, it could be my phone, because I noticed it keeps getting like a little bit blurry for me on my end. So it could be me. Russ says, enjoy, Ben. Ben said, mine would with you in a mankini. LOL. Mary says, you didn't leave. But we did leaf. Ha ha ha. L-E-A-F. David! California Line Dasher, hey, good to see you. Hello, and how are you? Thank you for dropping in. How you doing? You out there making that money? David says, good afternoon. David says, I'm good, and yeah. Good, glad to read it. Having a pretty decent day myself. Ooh. Squirrel. Let me see if I can get it. Nah, he went down into the ravine there. He went down into the drop off. He decided to drop off. Yeah, how was your day? Says David. It's going great. I hope yours is too. Ben says, what did I miss so far, lovely? Absolutely nothing. Some leaves fell off the tree. That was cool. And if you watch, you can see some leaves fluttering down here and there. That's about it. There was a black squirrel out here just before I started my live stream. And they're not talking to me today. Apparently I pissed them off. Mary says, hey, David. David says, hey, Mary, darling. Russ said, you missed pure filth, Ben. Yeah, there were boobs. Mary says, we are objectifying Russ, and he seems to like it. Yeah, Russ doesn't mind a little bit of objectification. Ben says, very lovely yard you have. I can imagine, Russ, peeing myself laughing. Todd says, is the audio cutting out for y'all or is it just me? Oh, is my audio doing funky things? Mary says she got a phone call. Yeah. Sorry about that phone call. Russ says, I love it, Mary. See, told ya. Ben says, fine here. Can you guys hear the cars as well? Cars are louder now that the trees have gone. Sadman, hey, good to see you. Sadman says, hi, Molly, good to see you live. Appreciate you for coming, Sadman. How have you been? Russ says, and I've changed my name to Gus. What a guy. What a guy. How can you not love him? How can you not love him? Sadman says, hope you are having a great weekend, and how was your week? I am having a good weekend so far. Thank you so much, Sadman. My week was pretty good. Pretty good. How was your week? I hope you're having a good weekend. Sadman says, hello, Gus. Mary says, Gruss. Ben says, right, Gus it is. Oh no, don't call him Gus, guy. His name is Russ. I just almost poured my drink on myself. Sorry, guys. I appear to have a drinking problem. Sadman says, my week was good. Thanks for asking. Just a very busy and long week. Long weeks are the worst. I'm sorry that you had a long week, but I'm glad that it's over for you. And I hope you find some time to relax and focus on yourself, Sadman. Turn you away from the sun there. Aha, we have a squirrel. It's a black squirrel, if I can get it on camera. He's way back there. Hey, squirrely, 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 squirrely. Come eat my nuts. Oh, goodness. Well, I guess there was a squirrel, I promise, guys. There really was a squirrel. Sadman says, don't say that drinking problem. It would sound like you're an alcoholic. And that's kind of why I said it, because it was funny. Well, more silly than funny. Ben says, had a busy 6 weeks here, to be honest. Lots going on. Yes, you have, Ben. You have. You have had so much going on. And I'm so proud of you for staying strong. Mary says, come eat my nuts. Yeah. I don't know what to say to them. They're not coming in here squirrely, squirrely. Mary says, obviously, you can't go on Facebook either, Molly. Oh, shoot. I was... Ben's laughing his ass off. Yeah, I would get banned there so quick. The first time I typed boobs, I'd be in trouble. Carl says, nice laugh. Thank you, Carl. Russ says, sometimes it's more about how you present your nuts, Mal. Ah, maybe they don't like them in the leaves. Good point. Sadman says, is my Cats and Birds Mary? Yes, it is Mary. That's her Cats and Birds channel. If you're not subscribed to it, please subscribe. Ben says, can't sleep is another one, so I'm crashing and sleeping whenever it happens. Can't sleep. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, with everything going on, I can imagine. Mary says, I love your giggle. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yes, sad man, says Mary. You guys are so sweet. Ben says, cheers for the sub, sad man. Yes, thank you, sad man. Appreciate you. Carl says, both channels have been pure filth today. Love it. Well, not pure filth. It's just been innuendo. So if it's filth to you, then your mind is in the gutter. Well, except for the boobs. The boobs is on me. Literally. Ben says, Carl, mate. Mary says, I don't think we as women have a lot of experience presenting our nuts. Very true. Very true. I just recently developed nuts myself. Carl says, Ben, mate, how are you? Oh, I didn't know you had 2 channels, Mary, said Sadman. Paul, hey, good to see you, says hi, Mom Dog and everyone. Carl says, no, Mary, you women happen to wear your nuts on your chest. Those are some big nuts. Carl says, nuts. Oh, yeah, I knew what you meant, Carl. Ben says, I'm okay, Carl, buddy, pushing on. Carl says, I lost 10 subscribers because of what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday, Carl? Carl says, you got this, brother. Mary says, that's because once you got trouble and then I got it back, then I figured out how. Because once you got trouble and then I got it back, then I figured out how. Mary says, boobs. Where's Edison to say boobs upside down and backwards? Carl says, a kid got into my live stream and started to say things about me. Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry, Carl. Mary says, trolled. they got 2 of my channels removed lying. They trolled. They got okay, hold on a sec. Trolled. They got 2 of my channels removed lying about me, and they got 2 of my channels removed lying about me, and I figured out that they were lying about, and I corrected it. I hope that clears it up. If you can't read what I'm saying, just keep going. I'll explain it. No, I think I got you, Mary. I think I got you. Mary says, has Edison seen boobs? Yeah, I'm sure he has. He's not that young. I mean, he's a kid, but he's not that young. He's an adult. He's an adult kid. Mary says, all you do is block them and ignore them. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good thing to do. When you have trolls, block them, ignore them, move on with your day. Sad Man said, oh, so your channel is kid friendly. Not really. I mean, there's not anything horrible on here. Boobs is really the worst thing. Mary says, corrected it. Yeah, I got you, Mary. I got you. Carl says, I'm removing wrenches from people. I would let people know why you're doing that, Carl, because that could hurt some people's feelings, and then they might stop coming to your channel. But I mean, if it's somebody that's abusing the power, definitely take it from them. Ed says, I'm back like Shady of the Slim Verify. Welcome back, Ed. Not totally sure I get that reference, but you're young, so thanks for coming back. Carl says, who didn't stop the kid? Oh, the ones who let the kid just keep talking? Yeah, I don't blame you there. I don't blame you there. Mary says, 420 million or billion people go through this site a month. One dumbass doesn't matter. Yeah, very true. When you look at it like that, there's so many people. Try to look for the good people and ignore the bad people. Don't let the bad people ruin stuff for you. Otherwise, they win. Sad Man says, hi, Red Eddie. Ed says, Verity. Mary says, no. Ben says, Ed mate. Ed says, hey, hey. Mary says, Carl, don't get all paranoid and don't take brunches from people. Yeah, it's really rude if you steal somebody's brunch, just saying. I'm not sure what that word was, Mary, but that was awesome. I love you so much. Carl, don't get all paranoid and don't take brunches from people. You're gonna hurt people's feelings. Oh, wrenches, that's what that was. Don't take wrenches from people. You're gonna hurt people's feelings. Just let it go. If you take a wrench from someone and they didn't do anything, they're gonna leave your channel. Do not act like the American government when one person does something stupid and they change the law for the whole country. It's not the way to run things. Sad Man says, Mary, you are an amazing person. We would never let the trolls stop you from being on YouTube. Russ says, I realized today my stalker still comes into my channel. Yeah, that was creepy. I mean, they've been silent for how long? Mary says, you're from Michigan, Molly. You need to know who Slim Shady is. I do? I'll have to look it up. Ben said, really, Russ? Message me, mate. Ed says, but that wrench was the sharpest tool in my box. Wait, what stalker? Carl says, goodbye. Thank you for stopping in, Carl. I appreciate you, and I hope you don't let just one person ruin it for you. I hope we see you again. Russ said, silent for around 9 months. Wow. Maybe he had a baby. Sad Man says, oh no, a stalker. That's bad, Russ. Didn't really say much, but I was like, I had no idea who they were. Wow. Ed says, how do people use their time to stalk people? Because they're creepy, Ed. It's creepy. Carl says, which stalker, Russ? You have a few, right? Russ says, he used to send me pics of himself in bed. Yuck. Ed said, sounds like he's gay for you, Russ. Or in general. Russ says, yeah, mate, worrying. Yeah. Ben said, that's odd behavior. Yeah. Ed wants to know, was he at least dressed in bed? I don't want to know. I'm just in my head. He's under the covers, so. Ben's laughing. Yay, the sun went away. I can read again. Sad Man says, oh no, it sounds bad. I hope you get rid of the stalker, Russ. Ed said, if I had a stalker, we'd be BFFs. No, seriously though, it's not fun being stalked. I've been stalked a couple of times. I was stalked when I was in high school. This kid used to ride his bike behind my bus on my way home. And then he would sit outside my house across the street, which was basically an empty lot. He would sit there and look at my window. And it was very, very unsettling. Russ says he managed to get my mobile number somehow. Strange lad. Yeah, that's scary. That's scary. Zenitsu? Is that correct? Zenitsu says hello. Thank you for being here. Carl says, Ed, stop telling everyone I stalk you. I have other best friends, you know. Russ is laughing. Ed says, Carl, that was our secret. guys. Ben says, how he just randomly pick your phone number, mate. No, I don't think he just randomly. I think he must have done some stalkery stuff to get, I mean, had to have done some stalkery stuff to get it. And whoops, I didn't realize I wasn't back where the leaves are falling. Carl says, don't worry, Russ is next, Ed. Ha ha ha. Ed says, I knew you'd move on. Russ says, you can stalk me anytime, Carl. See, that's probably how you get stalkers, Russ, is that you encourage it. Carl says, LMAO, Ed, you're so funny. You're still my number one, Ed. I'll stalk you into the bar, says Ed. Russ goes, oh damn, yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah. 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 Be careful about encouraging that. Carl show up on your doorstep one day. Carl says, Russ, you guys are awesome. Ben said, hit the like and bell, everybody. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you. It says Carl will show up in person for Guest Wednesday. That would be funny. That would be hilarious. I would die laughing. Carl says what Ben said. Just one Sue. Hey, Sue. It's good to see you. How are you? Carl says, not likely, Ed. Sad Man says, Sue, hi, good to see you. Russ says, rather have Carly in person. No offense, Carl. Yeah, just add a Y. Sue says, hi, Sad Man. Maddie, hey, good to see you. Says, hi, Molly, much love. Sorry, been busy. No worries, no worries. I know you've been busy. I've been watching you salt the roads out there, or gritting the roads, as you guys call it. Sue says, Maddie, hi. Russ says, Sad Man says, hi, Maddie, good to see you. Laughing my ass off, Russ, says Ben. Maddie says, hi, Sue. Ed says, hey, Frills. Maddie says, Russ, buddy. Sue says, BGN, hi. Maddie says, Eddie, buddy. Sue says, hi to Red. Wow, 27 likes. Thank you, guys. So, guys, we are about to wrap this up here in about 3 minutes. So, if you guys want to say your goodbyes. Maddie says, been leaving likes on your streams, Russ. Oh, appreciate you, Maddie. You're so awesome. Maddie's the best, guys. Russ says, message retracted. Carl says, not taken, Russ, buddy. Russ says, that's because you're awesome, Ma. Aw, thank you. You're awesome, too. Anybody who hasn't subscribed to Russ, you've got to check out his channel. Even if you don't have a fish or aren't into fish, you have to take a look at his aquariums. They're amazing. Russ says, thanks, Maddie. Sadman says, thank you, Molly, for the weekly streams. Hope you have an amazing week. Thank you, Sadman. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Carl says, fish have been fed frozen and 2 seconds, and it's gone. I bet. I bet. That reminds me, I have to thaw some food. Ben says, been great, lovely. Sorry I was late to it, but made it at the end. My lovely rock. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, Ben. And I'm grateful to have you here. And thank you so much for coming. And don't worry about being late. You've got so much going on. Don't even think about it. Sadman said, Russ is great. Do subscribe to his channel, everyone. Russ says, thanks, Molly. Much love. Much love back. Mary says, Maddie Daddy. Kage says, pizza is tasty. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I hope you enjoy it, Kage. Thanks, Sadman, says Russ. Maddie says, join Russ BGN Aquariums. Great channel, informative, and centuries of experience from his subscribers. Yes, very, very true. Good shout out, Maddie. Good shout out. Sadman says, at BGN_aquariums. Thank you, Sadman. Thank you. Appreciate you. Carl said, Molly is awesome as always. Thank you, Carl. You're awesome as well. Maddie says, my cat's high. That's Mary, Maddie. That's Mary's Cats and Birds channel. I'm going to go live in about 3.5 minutes. Okay? We'll see you then, Mary. Ben's giving love. And on that note, it is time to end the live. I appreciate you guys. I will see you around the YouTube streets. And I love you, each and every one of you. Go forth. Have a fantastic weekend. And be kind.